was new. Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nika, and yes, I have a new intro, and it's actually bird related, which is really exciting. I made it, and I'm really proud of it, and we're just gonna see where it goes. See if I like it, see if I wanna go back to the original, who knows? Okay, so before I get into this story time, and let me tell you, it is a good one, hopefully, depending on how well I do it. Putting a lot of pressure on myself. I wanted to tell you guys about a product that I have been using, sort of, that has really impressed me. And no, this is absolutely not sponsored. Normally I wouldn't do this, but I've been so impressed with this product that I'm gonna show it to you guys and tell you a little bit about it. So last week, I decided to go and get some shoes for my dog Scraps. You guys have met him before. You'll see him here in a second, maybe. Because it's just been really hot and there's not a lot of shade around where I live. So if I want to walk to a destination, it's just really tricky with him. And I'm just too nervous about risking his paw pads getting hurt. You guys should really be checking your asphalt and your concrete walkway areas or streets just in case, because their paws actually aren't really made for those kinds of hot surfaces. They're more made for hot dirt surfaces or grassy surfaces. And a lot of people kind of think, oh, dogs are fine, but you really should be checking, make sure their paws are okay. Check on the way that they're walking too, like if they're rushing more than usual, or if they're like lifting one foot at a time, kind of like you would if you were standing on a hot surface. That might indicate that they might need some shoes or just other shaded areas. So just keep that in mind. But anyway, so we go into Petsmart to look for some shoes, and we're looking, and I finally find some, but I turn my head and I see a display, and on top of this display is like a giant picture of one of my most favorite celebrities. So I got really excited, and this celebrity was none other than Ellen DeGeneres. I think she's hilarious, love her talk show. Not only was it Ellen DeGeneres, but it was Ellen DeGeneres holding a wiener dog. So I was like, super excited. So we go over there, and there was a ton of stuff. There was clothes for your pets, there was accessories, leashes, collars, carriers, accessories for you to hold their poop bags, which I thought was really cute, toys, anything you can imagine. And so it means that she has a collection at Petsmart. This was something I did not know, so if this is old news, don't judge me. So anyway, of course I had to buy something, like, of course, and I really wanted to get the $50 carrier, but I didn't have $50. I got this. Scraps actually chose this for himself between this and this little star squeaky toy, and he has absolutely loved it. I know the legs and the arms and the ears are not in the best of shape, and you know, that's not really what I'm talking about, but the body has been absolutely durable, which is super impressive to me, because the thing about dachshunds or dachshunds or wiener dogs is they were actually bred to get badgers. So they have these huge jaws and teeth that could just rip through anything if they wanted them to, and he has not yet destroyed this, so I have been super impressed with it. With other toys with squeakers, this thing would be demolished within a couple of days. It has lasted me over a week, and I'm super impressed. I know that sounds kind of silly, but if you have dogs that rip up toys, you will totally understand. It looks like it's made on the, like, beneath the fuzzies with kind of a material that's almost similar to like what a suitcase would be made of, or maybe like a really tough jacket, but it's just not ripping easily. He's done very good with it. He's been playing with it, squeaking it. We've been playing with it. Do you like your monkey toy? Do you like it? I'm thinking this one in particular was kind of like a 4th of July special, because everything at the time was red, white, and blue, so I'm not totally sure if they like still have that setup or if they've moved into like a fall Halloween kind of a setup. I'm sure maybe it's too early for that. I never know with these stores. But anyway, just this one in particular has been really durable. We will be buying more toys and such from the Ellen DeGeneres pet line. What do you think? Yeah. He's already like running to go get it. But we've just really enjoyed our time with this toy. Scraps has loved chewing it up and playing with it, so just thought I'd share that with you guys. Again, non-sponsored, I just really enjoyed it. And I know as a pet owner, sometimes finding those toys that are durable is really hard. There you go. So let's just get into my story time now. Believe me, it's an interesting one. I can't even believe like this chain of events happened. Okay, so it was Thursday, and I was sitting at home and I was like, what is something I could do for my husband? He's been super sweet lately. He always works really hard for us. We've just been really happy with each other lately, so I wanted to do something to treat him. And one thing that my husband loves is pizza. Like, he just adores pizza. Like, we had pizza at our wedding. Do you want proof? This is a picture of us at our wedding in front of our pizza truck. We had pizza at our wedding. Now, unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of time, and I didn't have a whole lot of money. I had made about $10 in tips that day, and so I was like, where could I get a pizza? And just down the street from me, there happens to be a Little Caesars. Yes, famous for their ready-to-eat pizzas, famous for their lack of seating, Little Caesars pizza. So I'm like, okay, great. I'll leave 30 minutes early to go pick him up from work. For those of you that don't watch my vlog channel, Thursday is also our band rehearsal days, or sometimes mine, all the time his. So I thought, what a great way to give him some dinner, and a dinner he loves. He loves pizza. And the best thing about Little Caesars is quick and it is cheap. So about 30 minutes before I'm supposed to pick him up, I get in my car and I drive down to Little Caesars, which is like a 5-minute drive away. I park my car and I walk in, and there is a lady at the counter, and I'm close enough because this is a really small store. Like, Little Caesars is about the size of my bathroom. They don't want you sitting there and eating. You gotta go. It's hot and ready. It's not hot and sit down. It's hot and get out of here. And I watched the lady in front of me have a very interesting conversation with the guy that works there. It was a little something like this.
What is that right there? That thing in the black box, what is that?
Well, these ones right here are wings. They're spicy, like spicy, you know, hot wings. And then right here I have my cheesy bread. And then we have like dessert. So were you looking at one of these?
Well, see, I was looking at the wings because I was thinking about buying them for the guy, like, begging for money for food outside. I'm not gonna give him money. Like, he's probably gonna spend that on booze or drugs. But, you know, I'm probably not even gonna get him the wings. Like, he probably only wants the booze and drugs. He's not hungry. He's fine. He's fine. He's fine.
Oh, yeah, you know, sometimes they come in here and they're really hungry, but we can't always help them. So it's pretty nice when our customers are able to do it for them, you know. But I understand.
Yeah, is this pizza fresh? Like, did you give me a bad one? You probably gave me a bad one, didn't you? I want a fresh one.
Well, we bake and sell them all day, so there's really no chance that it's not fresh.
Yeah, I just really want to make sure it's, like, fresh, though. Like, it just came out of the oven, because I can't have anything that's more than, like, 3 hours old. You know how it is.
It's fresh, ma'am. It's hot and ready pizza. It's fresh.
So obviously I over-dramatized that a little bit, but you guys catch the drift. This lady was like bragging about thinking about doing something nice for this homeless man, but then didn't do it, and then was kind of rude to the guy about the freshness of her pizza. So I was like a little bit irked by this, you know? Like, don't be rude to the guy serving your pizza, and don't pretend to be nice and then not be nice. There was just a lot happening in this moment. So I go to order my pizza, and they were actually out of cheese, proving that their pizza's fairly fresh sometimes. And I mean, I wouldn't call it like freshly fancy baked pizza, but for hot and ready pizza, it's probably fresh. You know what I'm saying? Well, anyway, so I asked the guy, hey, would it be all right if I left to run to my apartment, which is 5 minutes away, and came back? He said that would be all right. So as I'm walking out, I see the person that this lady was talking to, and I decided unless he asked for something, I wasn't gonna do anything, but he did. He asked me if I had a couple bucks, and normally I wouldn't talk about this, but there was an interesting exchange with this guy. So here's the thing about this guy, is if I had just seen him walking on the street, I would have had no idea that he was homeless, unless I saw his suitcase. So he was like a normally dressed man walking around with a rolling suitcase. And so this hat is going to represent him. Doesn't mean anything, it was just the hat I had. Like, he was completely normally dressed, like just wearing like a t-shirt and jeans, but they weren't ripped up, they weren't dirty, they looked completely nice. So he looked totally normal. So then this exchange happened.
Excuse me, miss, yeah, do you have any change you could spare? I'm really hungry, and I'm just traveling, and I don't have any money, and I need to get some food. Would you have anything that you can spare?
Yeah, I have $1 or so that I can give you. Yeah.
Actually, I'm sorry. Do you have a smoke? I'll take a smoke over food. I need it. I need the nicotine.
No, I actually don't smoke, and I don't really think you should either. So here's some money for food.
No, you're right. You're right. I shouldn't be smoking. It's a nasty habit. I shouldn't be doing it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to bother you. Thank you.
It's all right, have a good day. Okay, so here I was like really mad at this lady for, like, basically I was kind of irritated at her because she was like, this man's only gonna buy booze and drugs with the money, so I'm not gonna give him anything. When she very well could have bought him food or just not talked about it, you know? You just didn't need to talk about it. So I'm like defending him in my mind, and I'm like, of course I'm gonna give you money. That lady was really rude. And then he asks me for a cigarette. So I was a little more peeved, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get over it. I'm not gonna be judgmental. I'm gonna give him the little bit of change that I have. Hopefully that fills him up. He gets some food and he gets filled up. I don't really care beyond that, right? Like, I'm a little bit irked at both of them, but I'm moving on. I'm walking to my car. I have to run home and grab something that I forgot and come back, right? Well, as I'm walking to my car, all of a sudden I hear,
Hey, You single?
So this was really frustrating because I had intentionally dressed kind of frumpy and more on the modest side, like I was wearing like a sweater and jeans because it was windy and looked potentially like rain outside, and I just didn't want to get cold. I had my hair done pretty cute, but that was it. And I was like not anticipating this at all. Like usually I'm a lot more cautious, like if I were to go out wearing a dress, I wouldn't go without scraps or anything, but like I was pretty frumpy this day, so it was really annoying. And so I just ignored this guy, right? But then all of a sudden I hear again,
"Hey, you single?"
and finally I'm just like, no, I'm married. And I walk away. So I drive home, I get the thing that I forgot and I needed, throw it into the trunk of my truck, and I drive away, right? Well, then this happens. So I get out of my truck, I start walking back into Little Caesars to go get my pizza, and again I hear,
"Hey, hey."
same guy, he hadn't left, and he's yelling at me again. And so I'm like, I'm just going to ignore him, I don't need to deal. So I go in to get my pizza, and all of a sudden the homeless guy that I had given my money to is running kind of towards the direction of my truck, which I was really, really nervous because I had a fairly expensive item in there, but like I didn't want to be like accusatory. So I just kind of watched and like walked to my car. But then he kind of started veering towards this other guy's car and said something kind of to him. I'm assuming it was the respect of like, hey man, she doesn't want to talk to you, leave her alone. I'm hoping that's what happened. It looked like that's what happened, so that's what I'm assuming. And then he starts walking back to his spot where he was sitting at Little Caesars. And then all of a sudden I hear yelling again.
"Hey, are you free tonight?"
I already told you I'm married, so leave me alone.
"Well, that's why I'm asking. I'm married too, so that makes it okay."
Wait, what? What? You're already married, so that makes it okay. What?
"Yeah, we could have like a baby shower or something. You know, and that's what married people do. We could have a baby shower."
So I am like peeved by now. Like I've already dealt with some frustrating people and now you won't leave me alone. You won't take the hint that I'm married. I'm happily committed. I don't want to do anything with you. I don't want to get in your car. I don't want to throw a baby shower with you. I just want you to leave me alone. Why are you sitting out there in your car creeping on women anyway? Like, it's not okay. And so I'm just really frustrated, so I get into my car, slam the door, and drive away. Now, fortunately, when I picked my husband up, we had to drive back by that location and that car was still there, so I was able to point it out and be like, hey, that guy was harassing me. And so my husband was able to be like, okay, like if he ever comes back or whatever, like we'll know. Probably won't happen. But this was just a really frustrating scenario. Like I went from really snobby lady, you know, just assuming the worst about homeless people. And then I went to the homeless guy asking me for a cigarette when I was gonna give him food money. So, you know, I'm like defending him in my mind, and then he like asks that, not totally judging him for that, but it was just in the moment, very frustrating. And then I have this creepy guy from his car screaming at me to come over and telling me that it's okay if we're both married and to throw a baby shower. Does he even know what a baby shower is? Well, anyway, you guys, that was my experience at Little Caesars Pizza. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. I did want to make one point with this story. If you're ever nervous about giving money to a homeless person, and a lot of people do have that fear of, well, what if they're gonna spend it on drugs? What if they're gonna spend it on alcohol? What if they're gonna spend it on something that's not okay? And I used to struggle with this fear myself. You know, like I kind of had the mindset of this is my hard-earned money and I don't want it going into these things. But actually it was my husband and we kind of talked about it, and he said something really great that I'm gonna pass on to you guys. If you are giving your money to someone and you wanna be truly selfless with it, it doesn't matter what they do with it. Yes, that is a huge possibility, but your act of selfless has a different point to that. And that money could help somebody else in the future if you give it to this person now. So just try to not even think about it. If you're truly being selfless and you want to help somebody, do it and don't think about it and don't worry about it. I'm not saying I'm better than anyone. I've had those problems before in the past, and I have moments too where I see people and I'm like, I don't feel comfortable even talking to them. Like it just seems like a threatening situation. But if you truly feel compelled to be selfless to a person that's asking for money, or even someone that's just stuck and not, I would just push those fears aside. So for me personally, I just kind of give them the money and trust that God will do something good with it. I know that's like the Christianese answer, but it does make me feel better, and it helps me give what I have. And I think that's really important, to be giving and to be selfless and to help people that are in need. So if you have those convictions or those worries, please just try to look at it that way. It is okay to buy them food sometimes too, but I've also learned a lot of them are trying to save up that money so they can have a bed for the night. A lot of them are trying to save up that money so they can get themselves and their friends food. A lot of them, you know, there are people that use that money for the wrong reasons, but you could be denying somebody that actually truly needs it thinking about that. So I would just say, in your heart, just be selfless. And it's $1, you know, $1 is not even a cup of coffee. So that's all I have to say about that. If you like this video, please do not forget to give it a like and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already, so you can get my sometimes daily, sometimes weekly doses of weirdness. Whatever this is what you get. You can also follow myself on Twitter at NikaClassyBird. Still don't really tweet. I don't Twitter. How do you Twitter? How does that work? If I take a tutorial. You can follow Scraps on Instagram at Scrapadapple for daily doses of cuteness because he's adorable and totally worth it. You can check out my Patreon and also our family vlog channel. Both will be linked down below in the description. And that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this video and I will see you next time. Bye!